This week on JTV, we're reinventing a dependable industry workhorse, leatherleaf, and showing you some contemporary ideas as well as new fashionable special event ideas. You won't want to miss this. So every once in a while here at JTV, I like to take a look at an old thing that we're reinventing and making new again. I've been around in the flower industry my entire life, and so I've seen things come and go. But one thing I've always been familiar with, that's always been around, is leatherleaf. And Fern Trust is one of the best growers of leatherleaf fern in the entire world. They have their patented fern cool process that they use on their leatherleaf. That ensures that your bunches are fresher, they're going to last longer, and the quality is exceptional. These bunches are their premium bunches, and they come packaged in their own individual bags. Let's take a look at leatherleaf one more time. Your bunch comes together. Look at the quality of that. It's beautiful. No broken bracts, all very green, bundled together. Ferns are a wonderful product for us to utilize. So let's take a look at the leaf itself. We have apical dominance, so it goes all the way to the top and forms that wonderful point. And then, on the backside, some times of year, there are the little dots that you see on the backside. I always got a kick out of my mom, because every once in a while you'd have a customer who'd call up and say, I got some fern today and there's little bugs on the back. My mom would say, look at those guys. Notice how they're all in perfect little rows, side by side? And the customer would say, yes. She'd say, that's the sex organs of the plant. Don't touch them. You know, that's how ferns reproduce. There's spores on the back of the leaves themselves. Certain times of year, that's there. I think it's great because it adds texture and it's part of a living organic product. That's what makes ferns so cool. Having that differentiation on the back side, it adds texture and it's part of it being an organic growing leaf. I love leatherleaf and I love ferns. They're familiar and they're dependable. And because of that, they can be new and exciting again. All it takes is a little bit of creativity on our part and some imagination. And soon the ideas start flowing. You know, leatherleaf has been around and been green for millions of years, literally. It's one of the original green products. Fossils indicate a fern-like predecessor, Scandicanthus. It grew 78 million years ago. So imagine what that adds to your arrangement. Something that's been around and part of our earth for so long allows you to create some new ideas. So let's think about it. What are some things we can do with fern today, specifically leatherleaf? One of the first things I always think about is the shape of the leatherleaf itself. It's such a classic fern shape, so that can be beneficial to us. Here, I took a piece of craft paper and I laid the fern on the craft paper and sprayed it with the Modern Metals copper. It gives a great outline and silhouette. This one I laid with the fern down. This one I switched it over the top and kind of splattered around it. So we've got a couple of different textures. You could use this as a display background, or you could even create your own wrapping paper with it. You've got different opportunities just for using the silhouette itself. So as we talk about that classic shape, how wonderful would it be to have it be on the side of a container? We used a couple pieces of the U-glue from Oasis. We remove that protective tape. It's clear, and then we can just apply our leatherleaf to the side of the container. It gives us a three-dimensional effect, and it's a fun way for us to upgrade a simple cube. Now, in that same manner, we might be setting a table. I've got a clear plate, and I've got a white charger. We can take a piece of our leather and lay that on there. Cut the stem short. place our plate on top of it. Look at how great that looks. It's a fun way for us to set a table, giving it a green look. Almost reminds us of those fossils I talked about. So that's a fun way for us to set a table using leatherleaf. Now what about changing it up a little bit? We can change up the texture of the product itself. Here, I've created a ring of the leather leaf. And I'm going to place this vase down inside the middle of that ring. But before we do that, we can upgrade it. We use glue for glitter. Just put a coating on the leather leaf itself. Then we'll sprinkle some crystallina or halogen glitter. Talk about an inexpensive centerpiece that has a lot of bang with it. We use our maxi illuminator inside and set that down. And then we add our vase on top. Now we could float flowers inside of here. We could also do floating candles. Or don't forget the great lily pads from Acolyte. We've got an illuminated centerpiece with great reflective quality and that beautiful classic fern shape, all thanks to leatherleaf. Pretty simple and easy, huh? Or we can create a wreath like this. Imagine that hanging on a door with a beautiful satin ribbon on it. What a great accent for a wedding. But I always like to split my wreaths in half. So then we can serpentine them down the table itself. It's a great way for us to create an accent. And one more thing that we could do is change the color. Maybe a little bit of gray flannel from Design Master. Look at how that classic shape suddenly takes on a new contrast by having a wonderful gray flannel coloration. It's a simple way to create a centerpiece too, because I can take a couple of beautiful gardenias. These are from KB Farms. I'm going to remove that back plastic, and then those can be placed into the centerpiece itself. It's a fast way for us to create something beautiful and unexpected using leatherleaf, a little bit of paint, and some creative imagination. So let's kick it up a notch and create something high style and elegant using leatherleaf for this week's project. So for today's project, I wanted to create something contemporary. So we have a geometric vase with a hole in the side. We're going to use some Gerber daisies, and of course we're going to use leatherleaf. You're probably saying to yourself, how are you going to use leatherleaf, Jay? We're going to make it classic and contemporary. Because of the classic form of leatherleaf, we're going to be able to use it in an interesting way. So we'll start with our Gerber daisies. Cutting them short. We're going to want one to sit right down on top of that vase. And our second one is going to be longer. Kick that up to the side like that. Now, the classic shape and form. The great part about this is that's such a classic shape. We see the fern pattern all over in classic design. In fact, we've got a new JTV t-shirt that features the classic shape and form of leatherleaf. It's a fun way for you to tout your love of this wonderful product and love of flowers and ferns that date back millions of years by wearing your own JTV t-shirt. So with this, we'll remove the pieces and fronds at the bottom of the stem. getting all the way up to the top and leaving that form up there, which gives us a wonderful line and a payoff that's very contemporary and unique. So then I'll take our other pieces, we'll bundle those together. What we're creating is a little fern flower frog. We're going to tuck that into the vase at the base to create stability to hold our flowers in place. Then we can come back and place in our classic pieces. I've created 2 more. We'll send 1 more off this direction. There we go. A fun, classic, contemporary way to use leatherleaf. So that brings me to some really exciting news. Our next JTV and U-Bloom Design Contest, sponsored by Fern Trust, featuring leatherleaf. We want to see what creative ideas you come up with using this classic form and classic foliage. You could win one of our cool new JTV t-shirts or a year's treasure trove from the great people at Fern Trust. The details are here on the website, so check them out and get your thinking caps on. You can start being creative with leatherleaf and win some cool things as well. Until next week, keep having fun with flowers.